Welcome back, and in this video we're going to create a GitHub account and use Git in Visual Studio Code. So, in order to use Git, we need to go to source control, and in here we see that we cannot initialize the repository yet. The repository is the place where the source code will live. We need to install Git. So let's do that. Normally there should be a command to install Git in Linux and in Ubuntu, so let's see, install. We have this link here. Okay, so Git is installed. Now let's go back to Visual Studio. And I'm going to restart Visual Studio. Great. And now if we go here, we don't see anymore the request to install Git. And now we want to publish to GitHub, but before doing that, we need to create a GitHub account. So, opening back Firefox. Going to GitHub. I'm gonna go to sign up. And in order to sign up, we'll also need an email. So I will, in the meantime, create an email address. For some reason it's in Dutch, so I will switch it to English. Let's say Ubuntu C#. And let's say a password that has upper characters and lower characters. Okay. Next. I need to create a so now I'm waiting to receive the code. Great. Now we should have a valid email address. Okay, everything is working. Let's go back to GitHub. For some reason it's working very slowly. I'm going to reuse the same password. Yep. We have to verify Spiral Galaxy. Okay, so now we should be able to create our account. And we need to go to our email address and input this code. Oh. And now we have our account. We don't have any repositories yet. And this is something that we will create from Visual Studio Code. So back in Visual Studio Code, we will create the GitHub repository, but before we do that, we will create the username and password configuration. So we will do this here, git config global user.name, and that the username is Ubuntu C#, and global user.email, and this one is Ubuntu C#@gmail.com. Okay, and now if I click publish to GitHub, we will have to log into GitHub. this is okay. And we want to have a public repository because the private repositories are cost money. So public. We have these files selected, so okay. And now, if we go to GitHub, we will see in our repositories the files. And just to double check, if we go back to Visual Studio and we'll say here hello C#, when the moment I save the file, you should see a change here. We can also, if we click the changes, we can see what was deleted and what was added. And I can click a commit message, like updated message. And there are no staged commits. We always want to stage them, so the changes are listed here, and then when we stage the changes, that means that only those changes will actually be committed to the history. And now we also want to push to the GitHub repository, and I can go here to also see the remote repository. So Git always has a local set of files and the remote set of files. For the moment, the commit is only in the local files, and if we want them to get on the server, you can see here that there are 0 changes on the server, but there is one change that I committed and that is not on the server. So if we want my change to go to the server, we have to push it to the server. So I can go here and then push. And now my change should appear in here. Hello C#. Just one last example. Hello C# from Ubuntu. I'm going to commit, save first. We see the file here. Commit. I have to put a message. Updated message again. Now if I go to the website, I won't see the changes yet. So it's still hello C# because I only committed locally. And now if I go and push it, now it should be here. So if I refresh this again, hello C# from Ubuntu. And this concludes this video on using Git and GitHub. But of course there are many other topics, and we'll get into them as we go along. For the moment, and this is also what I use for my personal projects, this is enough. Just making commits locally and then pushing them to GitHub to make sure that our work is saved on the website and not only on our local machine. Thank you, and see you next time.